have a timeout. Decide not to use it. Curry, way downtown. Bang! Bang!
Before Steph Curry, if you pulled up from 30 feet, your coach was benching you. That shot wasn't confident. It wasn't smart. It was a bad shot. Then Steph Curry showed up, and in a few seasons, he turned the bad shot into the most terrifying weapon in basketball. Not because he hit one crazy three, because he made the entire sport change its rules. Today, kids practice logo threes like it's normal. NBA teams build rosters around spacing. Big men are expected to shoot. Defenses pick ball handlers up at half court. That isn't a coincidence. That's Steph's impact. So how did one player change basketball forever? Let's break it down. To understand Steph's impact, you have to understand what the NBA looked like before he became Steph Curry. For decades, most offenses had the same priorities: get the ball to the rim, get the ball to the post, or live in the mid-range. The three-pointer existed, but it was often treated like a bonus. You took threes when the defense collapsed. You took threes when a shooter was wide open. You did not build your whole offense around a point guard pulling up from 28 feet. And most stars didn't take threes off the dribble at high volume. If a guy launched early in the clock, coaches called it settling. If he tried it from the logo, coaches called it selfish. The league's idea of efficiency was different. The league's idea of spacing was different. The league's idea of what a guard could do was different. Then Steph arrived. Steph's gift wasn't just that he could shoot, it was how he could shoot. He could catch and fire without dipping the ball. He could shoot off the dribble going left or right. He could shoot after a hesitation, after a step back, after a relocation. He could shoot at full speed with a defender chasing and still get the same smooth release, and that release was quick. So defenses had a problem. The traditional plan against a star guard was to go under screens, protect the paint, and live with a contested jumper. You couldn't do that to Steph. If you went under, he shot immediately. If you went over, he turned the corner and forced help. If you trapped him, he made the simple pass and the Warriors played 4-on-3. Steph forced defenders to pick a poison, and no matter what you chose, it felt wrong. Now add the craziest part, range. Steph didn't just extend his range a little, he stretched it to places that weren't supposed to be guarded. When Steph starts pulling from 30 feet, the defense has to guard him from 30 feet. That sounds obvious, but it changes everything. It pulls a defender higher. It pulls help defenders toward the ball sooner. It opens driving lanes for everyone else. It makes the court feel wider, even though the court is the same size. And once Steph proved he could make those shots consistently, the league had to treat them as real shots. He didn't just hit deep threes. He made deep threes normal. People call it gravity, and it's the perfect word. Because when Steph is on the floor, defenders get pulled toward him even when he doesn't have the ball. Steph passes, then sprints into a screen. Two defenders follow him like he's holding a bomb. A third defender shades over, just in case. And suddenly, there's space everywhere. That space becomes a layup for a cutter, an open corner three for a shooter, a drop-off pass for a big. So even when Steph isn't taking the shot, he's creating the shot. That's the cheat code. Most players help their team when they have the ball. Steph helped his team just by existing 30 feet from the rim. And that changed how teams thought about offense. Spacing wasn't just nice. Spacing became the foundation. Here's something people miss when they copy Steph. It's not only the threes, it's the movement. Steph doesn't stand still after he passes. He relocates, he cuts, he loops around screens like a wide receiver, and that off-ball movement forces defenders to make constant decisions, switch or chase, help or stay home, communicate or give up an open look. This is why the Warriors' offense felt like chaos, because it wasn't just a player shooting threes, it was a system built around a shooter who never stops moving. And once teams realized how powerful that was, the copycat era began. After the Warriors won, every front office took notes. Teams started prioritizing shooting like never before. Can he shoot? Became the first question. Role players who couldn't space the floor started losing minutes to specialists. Stretch bigs became valuable. Spacing wings became essential. The pace went up, the number of threes went up, and even stars changed. Guards started taking more pull-up threes. Wings started hunting step-back threes. Players who grew up watching Steph started coming into the league already comfortable shooting from deep. Steph didn't just change the NBA, he changed basketball culture. He changed what kids practice. When offense changes, defense has to evolve. Before Steph, it was rare to see a team trap a point guard 35 feet from the rim. Steph made it normal. Teams started blitzing pick and rolls just to get the ball out of his hands. They picked him up at half court. They sent help earlier because one step late was 3 points. And as a response, defenses got more switch heavy. If you can't chase shooters through screens all night, you switch. If your big man can't move his feet, he gets played off the floor. Steph didn't invent switching, but his style accelerated it. He forced defenses to become faster, smarter, and more versatile. Steph Curry's true impact isn't a single game, a single record, or a single highlight. It's that he changed the definition of a good shot. A deep three used to be a mistake. Steph turned it into a weapon. Off-ball movement used to be a role player's job. Steph turned it into a star's job. Spacing used to be a luxury. Steph turned it into the entire game. After Steph, basketball couldn't go back. So the next time you see a kid launch from the logo, or a center step into a three without hesitation, remember where that came from. If you enjoyed this breakdown, drop a comment. What's the most Steph changed the game moment you've ever seen? And if you want more NBA stories like this, subscribe.